However, here you are not able to read your questions beforehand. You're only able to listen to the audio. So the real audio will be played first. Thereafter, the questions will be given to you. You have to answer the questions accordingly. Okay, so you don't get time to read your questions beforehand. So that's the slightly difference for those who have given IELTS before. Okay, are you able to understand? Am I clear?
Yes.
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 Yeah. So there is no, the audio is really easier in the initial part, simpler to understand. While however, in the later part, it slightly becomes little, as I said, academic based, slightly in social matters, they're going to give you topics. Okay, there will be also audio video information out here. I will talk about listening in details in some time, so we will discuss that. And there will be about the audio's length will increase, as I said. Overall, there will be about 38 questions in your listening. Okay, you will have to answer 38 questions out here. Okay, to reach your band score, because you're looking for a out of 12, it will be measured on the out of 12 bands. You're looking for a band of 9. Here you have to minimum get at least 34 correct answers. Okay, you have to get at least 34 correct answers to get the band of 9 out of 12, which is your target score for immigration. Okay, thereafter, once the listening is up, the computer will take you towards the reading part. In reading, there will be various passages which are again increase in difficulty. There will be letters, there will be advertisements given to you on which you have to read, understand to answer your questions. There will be passages on, again, academic context about, say, Canadian you can say Canadian parks, about Canadian climate and weather, or about some species which are found in Canadian region especially. So those kinds of topics they give you, mostly related to Canadian region. Okay, and the difficulty level in the sense that, yes, you have to understand between the lines, you have to infer the information more logically, and there will be vocabulary as such, which will be slightly, if you're not a very ardent reader, this can be slightly little difficult in that sense. Okay, so the level of it increases. However, the passages are not too lengthy. So unlike in IELTS, those who have given it, they can understand the passages were lengthy in IELTS, where the passages are shorter. But you have to really, like in part 4, where you read for viewpoints, there are different types of arguments given to you to understand them, and then you can answer your questions. Both in listening and reading, you have MCQ-based questions. There is no other types of questions. Everywhere they give you a set of choices from which you have to pick up and choose the right answer. Okay. Here also in reading, there are 38 questions, all are MCQ-based, and your desired score is to get minimum 32 correct answers. Sorry, 33 correct answers, 5 mistakes you can make. So 9 out of 12. Okay, to get this band score, you get 33 correct answers out of 38. Okay, so that's for reading. After reading comes the writing part. In writing, there are 2 tasks to be done. One is writing an email and one is responding to a survey question. So they give you some background context to whom you have to write this letter, and they give you some cue ideas. Okay, as what is the purpose of writing, or they give you some understanding what you have to write about in your letter. So you have to follow those cues, create a structure properly, enhance your language skills by articulating the ideas and putting them into logical, meaningful sentences. See there is a flow in your write-up and you're not making too much of grammatical errors as such. So writing an email, you don't have to write too much here. The minimum word count is 150 to 200 words. Okay, max to max, you can reach out to 220. So within the 27 minutes you have for writing, you have to complete this letter. Okay, again, those who have given general IELTS, this is closely similar to that. On the other hand, task 2 is responding to a survey questions where they tell you the background again on why the survey was conducted and what are its outcomes. Okay, there'll be 2 outcomes for a given survey. Every time there'll be 2 outcomes. They put it as A and B. You have to choose any one of them and explain why are you choosing A option or B option. Explain with reasons and examples. And why aren't you choosing the other option? What are the demerits of that? So that has to be explained. It's like an opinion-based question where you have to write about your opinion, explain about your opinion clearly through your ideas and reasons. Okay, and you also have to say why aren't you selecting, what are the negative of the other point of view. Okay, so that is called a survey question. Again, here also the word count is similar, minimum 150 to max 220 words. They give you a set limit of 200, but you can reach up to 220. You have 26 minutes to complete this task. Lastly, you have the speaking segment. It's all testing your communication skills in how well you quickly think about the topic, express it through your sentences. Again, not making too many glaring grammatical errors, but you are able to articulate it, present it well. You can able to explain your thoughts clearly, and you're not having a fumbling in between or taking too much pauses in between. You're giving a completeness to your speech. All these things are being tested. So it'll be examined on your pronunciation, on your intonation, on how well relevant you're to the context, your completeness, okay, your ideas that you're giving, all this will be examined. The speaking is where you have to record to the computer. You're recording on the computer, which is then being evaluated by a human examiner. Okay, so computer does not evaluate the speaking segment. Same in case of writing. Both in writing and speaking, it's a human evaluation. So in speaking, you have to record on the computer, and thereafter it is examined by the CELPIP certified examiners. There are 8 tasks in speaking. Okay, there'll be 8 different tasks in speaking, and different topics are given to you for you to speak. Some are pictorial based, describe the picture. Some are viewpoint based, where to express your opinions. Every time you get a set of about 30 seconds, sometimes you get 60 seconds to prepare yourself, and then you have to speak. You have to be clear in your speech, not like you're speaking too low or too fast. Okay, so that all those things are to be all those things you have to manage, because on the computer everything that you say should get captured. Okay, so speaking is, again, they give you topics which are on daily life situations. They don't give you much on very difficult topics. However, task I would say 7 and 8 could be slightly little challenging, because in task 7 they try to give you express your opinion about a social matter. Okay, so here again they give you a social context, and they try and they expect you to express your opinion on that. While in task 8 they give you a very unusual picture, which you may not come across any time in your life. So you have to explain about that, describe about that in your own words. So those 2 can be slightly challenging. Rest is all manageable. So here also each will be measured on the band of 12, and they average it out to give you the score for your speaking. Okay, so is this overview clear to everyone? Anybody has any doubt? Anybody didn't understand any part of it?
So what is the score that we have to do on the last part, the last 2 parts? Like how much
you have to get 9 out of 12. All the modules, you have to get the target score for all the modules is getting 9 out of 12.
Okay, and
Okay,
how
so
does
listening 9, reading 9. Okay.
I'm sorry, the writing part, like how many mistakes we can do, like any negative marking in it?
No, they are measured on 6 plus 6 actually. There's 6 in task 1 and 6 in task 2. There are certain criteria on which you'll be evaluated, and accordingly they'll give you the band out of 6 for task 1 and task 2, and thereafter how out of 12 you get your score. Okay, so there are some score criteria like coherent and coherence. They will check on your task fulfillment. So all these areas they'll be measuring. Readability. Okay, so those areas they will able to measure you, and then only they can give you the score out of 6. Are you falling in a band of 5? Are you falling in a band of 4 or 4.5? That, and in task 2, how much you're falling. Together they give you out of 12 bands in writing.
And what about the last one, the speaking one?
Each one will be measured in the band of 12, and they average it out. So one task, if you may get low, other task you get high, then overall you might reach a band of 9. Okay, like for example, task 1, 2, 3, 4, you did really well. You get good scores out of 12, say about 10 or 11. But later on, maybe task 8, you didn't do it well, you get 8. Okay, so they average it out. Are you getting me?
Yes, okay.
And they give you the score, whether you fall in a 9, 10, or less than that. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so any questions from any of you? Anything else you want to know about? Okay, so we'll move on to the listening segment then. Yeah, so as we just now discussed with you, that listening, there are 6 different parts, and all these parts will be having audios which are on daily life context and something which you will hear on really social matters, some academic related information and stuff. Okay, the entire listening, you will be listening to speakers mostly who are Canadian speakers. Okay, they don't give you any other speakers to listen at. And the Canadian English speakers are very similar to the speakers who speak in British English. Okay, so it's very close to that. So if you're familiarized with their accent, if you're familiarized with how they stress on the words, you are able to understand this audios. The challenging part is that here you do not get to read your questions. So firstly, they're going to give you instruction as what you need to do. Then they tell you the context on what you're going to hear about. And then they play the audio. So the audio will be played. For every part, there is a distinct time for which the audio will be played. Thereafter, you're going to see your questions. Yes, anybody wants to say something? Okay. Part 1 to part 3, you do not get to see the question. Okay, here the questions are also heard in the audio format. You're getting me? So part 1 to part 3, like in part 1, there are 8 questions. These questions will not be seen or displayed on the screen. This will be heard one after another on an audio format. So what happens is that there will be a 2-panel screen. The question audio is played on your left-hand side, and here you will have your options. There will be 4 options given to you in radio buttons. You have to choose the right one. They give you a certain amount of time within which you have to make the choice for the single question. Every time in the entire CELPIP listening, audio is played once, whether the question audio or the real audio, it will always be played once. For questions 4 to 6, here, part 4 to 6, sorry, for questions related to part 4 to 6, you're going to see the questions on the screen. So there will be, say, 5 questions. All are given on your screen with a drop-down menu bar. You have to click on it and select the right choice. So far, is it clear to everyone?
Yes.
Anybody didn't understand any part of it?
It's fine.
The listening part will open up with first a practice task. This task is given just to make you familiarize with how the listening works. So they give you a short audio and they give you a question out of it, which you have to answer. Even if you go wrong here, it doesn't matter because this part is unscored. It is not going to be a part of your scoring criteria. So practice task is just given for you to get familiarized with what happens in the listening module. Am I clear? Now, in this listening part, as I was saying, there are different types of context which you're going to hear. From part 1 to part 3, the contexts are generally easier to comprehend and understand. However, when you move on to part 4 to 6, is slightly going to increase, but it is not going to be very tough. If you listen to various kinds of English speakers or audios as such, you will be able to manage this part quite well. It is not that very difficult. So from part 4, you're going to hear a monologue. Part 1 to 3, it's all on conversation based. Okay, you're going to hear speakers. There'll be 2 speakers having a discussion, having a talk, sharing some information, asking for help, looking for something. These kinds of conversations you're going to hear. From part 4, it's going to be a monologue, where a single speaker talks about a particular subject, okay, about a particular topic, which can be on general matter as well. Like, for example, the person might talk about, they want to talk about an adventure sport that he or she has done and describing about that experience. It's about maybe a person who faced some challenging situation in his life and how he overcome that. That kind of talk might be there, but a single person will do that. In part 5, it's very interesting. It's an audio video round. Okay, the one that you generally see on English topics, or like you, when you see there were 2 to 3 people having a discussion here. Okay, so it's kind of a, yeah, it's a kind of a scene which you, I mean, what can I say? In kind of English soaps or English programs, you see 3 people having a discussion. These people may be from, again, they can be on general matters they can discuss. This can be people from their workplace situations, they're having a discussion, but there will always be 3 people. Okay, generally 2 is not there. Generally, it is always 3 people who is having a discussion out here. So let me make it more clear. Yeah, so 3 people having a discussion. There can be opposite genders all sitting together, or there can be same gender sitting together and having a talk. Some is saying something, other is trying to say something else, and then you have to understand. So you're seeing it, understanding, and then you have to answer your questions. In part 6, again, it will be a monologue where a single person will give information regarding, again, a particular subject matter, but it is more of academic based, I feel. Yeah, because it will be a lengthy talk about 3 minutes, and the talk about maybe the global warming effect. Okay, they might talk about technological advancement that is happening in Canada or any part of the country as such, any part of the world as such, or they give you maybe some kind of species which is getting extinct as such. So they can give you different topics, but there'll be 2 viewpoints to it. So he will speak in favor of it and against of it. Both the views he will give. So if the government has come up with some plans, what are the positive points of it and what are the negatives? Both will be discussed by the same speaker. Again, you have to understand, relate with it, and answer your questions. Okay, since in the listening part, you are not able to see your questions, you are able to listen to the audio only. Thereafter, you're answering your questions. So note taking would be a quite effective mode of understanding things, having details in front of you, which will in some way help you to answer your questions. Okay, because everywhere you don't get to see your questions beforehand. So listening to the audio and capturing a few details, somewhere to capture more, but capturing those details will help you to answer your questions more confidently, and you have something to fall back on to look into it and give it your answers the correct form. Am I clear? Am I clear to everyone?
Yes.
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 Please remember that in the listening part, there can be one part repeated more than once. For example, suppose part 1 gets completed. It's not, they might give you part 2, but they might also give you another passage or another audio related to part 1, the different context, with a different subject. But they can give you again part 1, or they might give you, suppose they finished part 2, they might repeat part 2 again. They give you another passage, listening passage of part 2. Any one of the part, generally from part 1 to part 4, any one of the part has a possibility of repetition more than once. You may get it or you might not get it. Depends on the exam day. Depends on how the computer, that's your test, the place where you are sitting, where you're giving your test, the computer algorithm is what. So you might get a repetition, you might not. But I'm just giving an awareness. If you get, don't get puzzled. It's not like you've completed part 2, why part 2 is coming. Possibility is that. Now, when they give you this 2 parts, repetition of 2 parts, of same part 2 times, in such situations, any one will be taken for your evaluation. Any one, but it's not been said to you beforehand which one will be taken for your scoring. So you have to give equal efforts to all the passages of listening. If there's repetition also, if there's the same part being repeated more than once, still also you have to give same amount of efforts. Am I clear?
Yes.
Okay. So this is just an introduction. Let's just take you through. Total number of questions will be 38. Total time, including the audio time and time given to answer your questions together, it's about 50 to 55 minutes. You have to score minimum 34 to 35, depends on the 35 is when the paper is quite easy, then they expect you to score 35 out of 38 to get 9 bands. However, generally 34 is the cutoff. You have to get minimum 34 out of 38 to get your band 9, which is your target score. If you get 31, this is a 7 bands. Okay. So the test features, all the speakers have Canadian accents, mostly conversations with a few monologues, as I was saying. All audio clips begins automatically preceded by the instruction. So the audio, just one after another screen, it's going to come up. So they're not going to tell you that now the audio begins like this. Once the instruction screen is off, changed, the audio will start automatically. Okay. The questions for each section come after the audio. For parts 1 to 3, questions are in the form of audio, not displayed, unlike parts 4 to 6. The learning passages will increase in difficulty as you move ahead. For parts 1 to 3, you are given questions, answering the questions in seconds. While for 4 to 6, since all the questions are given together in a single screen, you will see the display time is in minutes. Okay, because all the questions are given together. Here, since one question is heard at a time, and you to answer that, they give you time in seconds. Each correct answer gives 1 point. There is no negative answers, no negative marking as such. And it's completely computer scored. So listening and reading are both computer scored. So we'll discuss about part 1. Okay. So part 1 is about listening to problem solving. Okay, when you listen to the subject, listening to problem solving, what comes to your mind? General, don't have to just think of what comes to your mind. What kind of conversations you're going to hear? Anybody can give me some idea?
Yeah, maybe some two speakers discussing about some topic and asking help or advice.
Yes, looking for some help or advice, right? Okay, yeah. Listening to a problem solving. So it's something solving a particular problem. So two speakers, they can be again of same gender or opposite, and they might be looking for some kind of a general help. Okay, like somebody is lost in a new place and they're looking for a help to reach out to a particular location. So they're asking for help. Or somebody is looking to buy something and they can't able to find that. So that kind of conversations you might hear. So it's listening to a problem solving. And in this part 1, what happens is that the 8 questions, okay, are divided into 3 parts. Okay, the entire 8 questions will be divided into 3 parts. And there will be section audio being played for you. So firstly, they'll play you section 1 audio, from which you may have 2 to 3 questions. Then they play section 2 audio, from which you have 2 to 3 questions. Thirdly, the third audio, again, from which you may have either 2 to 3 questions. Okay, so entire 8, since it's divided into 3 parts, it will be unequal. Somewhere you get 2, somewhere you get 3, somewhere you get 3 again. So this way they divide the entire audio. So it slightly becomes comfortable because you don't have to hear the entire audio all at once. It's a break, and you will answer questions pertaining to that part of the audio only. They won't try to mix it up. Okay, questions are generally direct. Some questions are generally from the topic. There will be questions slightly on inference based, but not many. Maybe 1 or 2 will be inference based, how logically you understood the tape. Okay, so let's just take you through. Total time for given listening to the audio and answering the questions. For each questions, you get 30 seconds time, 30 seconds to answer each question. Total time is given as 8 minutes. So we'll hear a conversation in 3 sections. Each section will be played once. Please remember, every time the audio is always played once. The conversation is between 2 people, as one is seeking some help or looking for some kind of a support from someone. The audio is played for 1 to 2 minutes. Each section audio is played for around 1 minute to max 1.5 minutes, not more than that. After each section, you will see this. Every time a single question is played in the audio and simultaneously the options are displayed. Just now, as I said to you, so there'll be 2 panel screen, the question audio here, and the options will be displayed here. So that's what is given from part 1 to part 3. You get 30 seconds for answering each questions. All are MCQ based, and or to change your option, you can select the other one, automatically previous one gets deselected. Since you have radio buttons, So once you choose the other option, automatic previous option gets deselected. Okay, so in the first screen, there will be instruction. Let me just share with you. Yeah, so like here, they're going to give you the instruction first. Okay, then they're going to give you the topic on which you're going to hear about. Sometimes they display a picture on the next screen. Okay, and then you're going to hear the audio. So third screen, you're going to hear the audio. First screen is these three information will be there. Second, they tell you on what context you're going to hear, and they give you the picture. They might give you, or they might not. It depends on that, how they formulated the test paper. And thereafter, they're going to hear the audio, after which the questions will also be heard. Okay, let's. Yes, so in the beginning, there will be the first screen, which will display the instruction. And then they give you a brief introduction about, okay, sometimes there can be image, and the audio file for that section will be played. The question screen is displayed with the questions audio and the options. Once you finish answering, you may click the next button. Okay, so every time in your exam, you're going to, as I said, there'll be a question audio and the options. You have 30 seconds to answer your question. The time will be displayed on the top right-hand side corner. Okay, so here the time will start with, as soon as the question is being heard, the timer going to start with 0, 0, 29, 28, 27, 26. It's going to go in the backward direction. Within 30 seconds, you have to answer. Besides the your timer, you have this next button tab. Okay, NEXT next, there will be a tab like this. Okay, in case you finish early and you want to go to the next question answer, you may press the next button. But if you want to check your answers properly, you want to be doubly sure that you're not making any silly errors, then you can stay back. After 30 seconds is up, the screen automatically takes you, screen gets frozen, automatically you're directed towards the next segment. Okay, remember in this computer-based test, there is no way you can go back. In case you're taken forward, you can't take a step back to review your work. So if you have missed something, you forgot to do something, and the time was up, you can't do anything on that. You have to move forward. Pressing the next button is not suggested because sometimes if you're not sure about the answer and if you quickly press the next button, you miss it out. So take the 30 seconds time that is given to you, see your answers carefully, check your work before you move on. But you're very sure, you're very confident about your answer and you don't want to waste time and you want to move forward. It's just a fraction of seconds that get changed. Saving time in one don't add up to the next question. You don't get extra time for the next segments or next parts anywhere. Every part in listening, in reading, in writing, in speaking has discrete timing. So they don't give you an extra time. If you saved from one, it won't get add up to any of the parts. Okay, so use your time cautiously and carefully without making any very silly or try to check your work before you move on, because sometimes because we are in an exam mode, we are trying to do things fast, we make those errors. So be doubly sure. Right. So once you finish, you may click. That's what. Few things to keep in mind. In the instruction time, do not press the next button. Please read your instructions carefully. Do not go and press the next. Automatically, the screen will take you. Wait for that. It hardly takes much time. When the audio is being played, don't try to fidget with the next button, because in case you press the next button when the audio is being played, you will be taken to the question and the audio gets incomplete. Okay, so please be careful in all these areas. We suggest that since you will have to answer the questions based on what you listen, a few important details you can take. For example, the name of the persons who are talking, what are their occupations if they're saying about that, what do they want, what is the purpose of the talk, are they talking about any time or date, anything, what they're looking for, all those things, if you can just take the notes. Okay, so for note taking, what I suggest is that you can create a table form. Okay, and if you know that the conversation, because they give you that indication or information beforehand, what is the conversation all about, you know that it's a conversation between a man and a woman. Generally, it is the opposite genders who will be having a talk. Okay. And when they give you the preceding context, understand it and put down a table. Take down what is the thing the man is looking, or what is the information man is sharing, and what is the information woman is sharing. But when you take down these notes, don't try to write sentences. Then you will capture less. What will you write? In short form, in abbreviated form, which you can understand. Okay, like you do text messages, the way you write in short form, use short forms, use to understand in symbols. Okay, you might get symbols like rise, fall, right, wrong, all these things. Use symbols, use code languages which you can make it out. Your notes are not being taken for evaluation, so just take down the notes on the papers provided to you. This could be substantially helpful way in answering more confidently. If you feel it's simple, I'm able to understand, I can manage the questions, it's up to you. Depends on your level of ability. Okay, but a few details like, as I said, what is the purpose of the talk? What is this man doing? What is the woman doing? If you talk about the professions, if they talk about any date, any time, any particular area where they're having a certain kind of a problem, who is having the problem, what problem, inquisitiveness. That inquisitiveness, what, which, where, these things will help you to get closer to the reality, understand it better, and of course, you can do your answers more easily. Clear? Anybody didn't understand?
No, it's clear.
Yep. So as we do one, you will understand it more clearly. So those kind of note can be helpful. Okay. So keeping certain details can be helpful. You should try to make no mistakes in part 1. So your target score is to get 34. And how many mistakes you can make out of 38 questions? Only 4 mistakes you're eligible to make. That means you should be careful in the initial parts, part 1, 1, 2, 3, you should not be making mistakes. Then only as the level of difficulty increases, in case you miss, in case you could not able to answer the questions, or you heard something, but you're not able to infer it with the right option, there you can make a guesswork and you can make a choice. But part 1, 2, 3, you must be very, very confident. It will come with practice initially, and if you are not able, don't worry. With more and more practice and more listening to different English speakers, be habit of listening to English speakers because you're giving English language exam. Okay, that will give a lot of difference to your work. Okay, so let's start with this. So you will hear a conversation in 3 sections. You will hear each section only once. After each section, you will hear 2 or 3 questions. You will hear the questions only once. Choose the best answer to each question. What you're going to hear the topic about, you're going to hear a conversation between 2 people at a hair salon. One is a customer and the other is a hairstylist. So as you read this, do you create something in your mind? What type of conversations I'm going to hear about? Could you understand this topic? Ranjit,
Yeah.
what do you understand from the topic? Yes,
Like
Akhil, yes,
she's giving the guidance to the salon person to like how to color or how to.
Yeah, so as you see this person, you can understand this might be the hairstylist, this might be the customer, because they've given a picture to you, right? So they might have discussion about some hair style, about some hair, how to cut the hair, or what type of hair color, all these kinds of discussion, because it's giving the preview as it's a conversation at a hair salon. So one is a customer, other is a hairstylist. In case the picture is not given, you can't make it out. In case it is given, you can easily understand that the man and a woman conversation, man is the stylist and the woman is the customer. Now I want everyone to hear, and if you can take down some few details, then I will make you to listen to the questions one at a time. Yes, maybe the way she wants her to look. Yeah, but with a hairstylist or any kind of style, they might discuss about how to have a different style of hair as such. So something related to hair only, I would recommend, because the hairstylist. Right. So are all of you ready with a pen and paper?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so playing the first section 1 audio, listen carefully, and then you can answer your questions.
Hello, how are you today?
Fine, thanks.
Is the audio audible to everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
Hello, how are you today?
Fine, thanks. I'm wondering if you take cars. Do you have any hairstylists available right now without an appointment?
Hey, you're talking to a stylist right now. My name's Tim. I'm just filling in at the front desk while the receptionist is on her break. What are you looking for? Just a quick wash and blow dry?
No, I was thinking about putting in some color to cover the gray, but I need to talk it over with a stylist first.
Sounds like you'll need a longer appointment. I don't have one available right now, but I can fit you in tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
Sorry, I can't make it then. Do you have anything in the afternoon? Maybe around 1 o'clock?
I'm available at 1:30. Does that work?
Yes, that's great. Will we be done by 3:30? I have to meet a friend.
Yes. It'll only take about an hour. Okay, so you're booked in with me, Tim, for 1:30 tomorrow afternoon. See you then.
Yeah, so I hope the audio was clear, understandable for everyone. What do we listen here is there is this customer who has come looking for a
appointment.
no. Looking for
Looking
a
to
She
color.
want to get her hair color.
Hair colored.
yeah, looking for a stylist to color her
Yes.
hair.
Hair.
Yes, she was looking for a hairstylist to color her hair. And what did the man say?
That
Did you
was
capture
the
any
hairstylist.
It's not possible.
It's not possible. Did you capture anybody? I mean, did all of you capture a few details as you listen
Yes,
to the
ma'am.
tape?
Yes.
Did you make that table?
Yeah.
2 columns? Did it
Yes.
help to understand things better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So there was this man who said, did you say his name?
Yes, Tim.
Tim.
Correct.
Tim.
Tim. And he is the stylist. He's filling up for the receptionist, right? And he told her that, what did he tell her?
So today at 9, sorry, tomorrow at 9 a.m. he has appointment. Like she'll get appointment, but she cannot make it.
Yes.
You want it at by 10 o'clock. So
Right.
1 o'clock. Sorry,
1
1 o'clock. So and he has given appointment of 1:30. So she planned to
Did you
complete it.
use, okay, did you use symbols to capture those things?
Short abbreviations I have used, ma'am.
Not abbreviations, use symbols, okay?
Okay.
Like when the man said that today it is not going to happen, put a cross, okay? And then the woman is saying, then the man is saying tomorrow, so and so. Woman is response is what? So use that column. Column means you have to have a conversation. Like the column must not be like one information, the man is saying, the woman information is here. Then you won't be able to relate.
Yeah.
Try to put the answer here only what the woman said. Okay, it has to be to and fro conversations. Okay, so when the man said 9 a.m., what did the woman say? No, it is not possible. So put a cross here. Then what did the man say? And what did the woman was asking? What time she was saying? What did the man say? The response must be like this, not like one answer, one information, you kept it here, and the answer is, and the information, what the woman said is here. Please keep a to and fro movement in what you capture in this table format, in this column format. Okay. Okay, so I hope you understood the tape. Let's see the questions. I will play the first question. Listen carefully, and then I will show you the options.
Question 1.
Why did the woman go to the salon?
These are your options. This is the part, okay?
B. To change her hair color.
B, okay. Anybody would differ with her?
it's a B.
B, okay. So the man said wash and blow dry, or looking for a quick wash and a blow dry. This word is directly taken from the audio. It can be a serious trap. Anything which can be directly taken from the audio can be a serious trap. Think through it, read the entire sentence before you make this choice. Easily people will see, okay, I heard this wash and blow dry, this can be. This is what the man suggested, but the woman said, I want to cover my gray. So she's looking for a hair color. So indirectly, the information is given in your options. That can be the possible answer. Let's check the others also before you come to B. If inquire if Tim is available, she didn't know who was Tim at all. So this is incorrect. To change her appointment, she didn't have any appointment. So this is also wrong. So between B and C, B seems to be more appropriate. Okay, so that's the right answer. Okay, next question.
Question 2.
Why does the woman have to return tomorrow?
D.
Which one?
DT. A visit will take a full hour.
Okay. Others?
Yeah, D.
E or D? Okay. Sandeep, Senthil, what are your answers? Ranjit?
C.
Yeah, it's a C.
Okay, so Asha, you're saying A. Why do you think A? Okay, others also, you can put your answers on the chat. There's a chat option. You can put your options A, B, C, D, anything on the chat. It will be easier for me to understand also, and it will be easier to communicate. So Nagasai, Vijay, Akil, did you all share? Arush?
Yeah, it's a C.
D for Akil, okay. So those who think A as an answer, okay, can you tell me why do you think A as an answer?
Because she let Tim do her hairstyling and Tim gave an appointment for tomorrow and she agreed for that. I think that's the reason, as per me.
Okay, did she say that only you will do my hair and no one else, so I can come at any, I can wait for tomorrow or like that? She just had to come tomorrow because, what did Tim say? That your thing will take a longer appointment and I can't give you today. Because whatever she wants to do will take a longer amount of time. Okay, that's why he was suggesting her to come tomorrow. But she didn't say that you only have to do it. She is looking for a stylist, but she never said that only Tim can do her hairstyling. Tim being a hairstylist said that, understand the tape. Okay, Tim being a hairstylist said that I cannot fit you for today because it will take a longer appointment. So I can give you one tomorrow. Okay, so logically, we can't deduce that she only wants Tim to do her hair. That is not being said or understood, or we can infer from the tape. You understand me?
Yes.
Oh, how are you? Just a quick wash and blow dry.
About putting in some color to cover the gray, but I need to talk it over with a stylist first.
Sounds like you'll need a longer appointment. I don't have one available right now, but I can fit you in tomorrow morning at 9 a.m.
So that's what. So she has to come because he can't fit him up tomorrow. But that doesn't mean that lady wants to do only Tim to do her hair. Okay, that's a wrong conclusion that we can draw. So in that sense, this is not the answer. The saloon is closing shortly. Never we heard that. A friend is meeting her soon. That's why she has to come tomorrow. She was not coming tomorrow only to meet her friend. She was changing her appointment so that the work should be done by 3:30, because at 3:30 she has to go to meet her friend. But the reason for her to come tomorrow is not her friend is meeting her soon. She wants to color her grays, cover up the grays and do that. But she was changing the timing in order to meet her friend at 3:30. So friend is meeting soon is not the reason for her to come tomorrow, but the reason is her visit will take a full hour. That's what the man said. The visit will take an hour or so, and I can't fit you one to this longer appointment. It will take a longer appointment. That's what's said, and that's what getting matched with D option, because it will take more than the required time. Tim cannot fit her up today. She has to come tomorrow. Okay, so the don't try to, I mean, the thing is that don't go away from what the context is, or don't go away from getting into a wrong logical conclusion. Okay, you are thinking that she wants only to Tim do her hair, that's why she has to come tomorrow. That's not the reason. Okay, Tim cannot fit her today, he cannot give an appointment today, he has to come tomorrow. But lady never said that she only wants Tim to do her hair. Okay, that was never being heard or said. So thus A, B, C can be rejected logically, because neither she was saying that for friend purpose she's coming tomorrow, because there's no appointment today, she has to come tomorrow. That's simple as that. No appointment today, it will take a longer time, and that fits with the D option. Am I clear? Is the explanation clear?
Yes.
Okay, let's read the next question now.
Question 3.
What time is the woman's appointment?
Yes, I think.
It's 1:30.
C.
1:30. Yeah. Yeah, so everything I think got that. 9 a.m. was suggested. All the timing are given as you heard in the tapes. 9 a.m. was suggested, but later it changed because lady said, I can't come so early, or it was a difficulty. So 1 p.m. what the lady said. And then the man said that we will make it at 1:30. It will be over by 3. It will take just an hour, and it will be over by, and 3:30 she has to meet her friend. Yeah, so that's what we understand. So 1:30 was the fixed time. Now we're going to listen to the next part of the audio, and we'll then answer the questions. Yeah, see. Let's listen to the next part of the audio then.
Okay, Tim, you have an hour to make me look like a movie star.
So tell me again, what are we doing today?
Well, I need to get a haircut, just a trim. But at the same time, I think it'd be good to cover my gray. What do you think?
You don't have much gray, but we can add a little dark brown that matches your natural color.
That sounds great. And I'll just keep the same style I have now.
Are you sure? If you like, I could cut some layers into the top to give it more volume.
No, I'm not looking for a change, thanks. This style has worked for me for years.
Okay then, that's great. Let's get right to it then.
Right. So what did you understand here?
She's cautious.
Okay, you are answering the question, it seems. Okay, so what do we learn from this part? Okay, that she has come the next day, and she is telling Tim that you have an hour to make me look beautiful like an actress and all this. So Tim suggested something. What Tim suggested to this girl, to this lady?
Change of
hairstyle. To
Yeah.
cut into layers.
Cut into layers, correct. Cut into layers and change her hairstyle. And how did the woman react to it?
No, that she was quite comfortable with the current hairstyle.
With the present one, with the old one that she is having. So she's quite comfortable with it. She doesn't want to make any change, right? So now when we listen to this question, let's hear the question first.
Question 4.
What does the woman's hairstyle suggest about her?
Yeah, what does a woman's hairstyle, okay, heard the question maybe, so just about her. What do you think out of the 4 options?
A.
A.
Yeah, A.
Not D, she's an actress.
No, she want to look like actress.
but she's not an actress. Is she
Yeah,
a risk
she's not
taker?
actress.
How are we rejecting B and C?
She don't want to take any risk with a new hairstyle.
She won't take any change. She won't take up any changes in her hairstyle. So she's not a risk taker. She's averse in taking risk. She's a professional or not, we can't understand because she never said what job she does. Okay, so B, C can be rejected. Even D is also rejected because she wants to look like an actress. That's a direct matching. So this can be a trap, but we can understand this person is cautious. Correct. A is the right answer for this. Okay. Next section, next question.
Question 5.
What do the speakers disagree on?
Yeah, the options.
That to change the hairstyle, B.
Okay. What about others?
B.
Okay. When the next stream will be needed? Was that
not mentioned?
Not mentioned. The question was asking you what? The question is saying?
Question 5.
What do the speakers disagree on?
What do the speakers disagree on? So next trim will be needed was not a question at all. This was not discussed in the tape at all. Okay, whether to change the hairstyle, the hairstylist suggested a change, but she refused. So there is a disagreement here, seems to be a close match. Whether to add desired layers. Now, if here desired layers was the word we heard in the tape, and there was the man wanted to suggest her some layering, it will give some volume to her hair. Okay, but where to add was not the matter. Whether to add desired layer was the topic of discussion, was the topic of disagreement, but where was not. So there's a trap here. Okay, there's a direct matching, there's a trap, not where. Which shade of the color? Nothing was being said on that. So thus, and shade of the color was not a matter of, because she said to add some brown and all these things, but that was not a topic of disagreement. So whether disagree, they disagree on B, whether to change the hairstyle or not. That's the right answer. Okay, so last part, we're going to hear the audio first for questions 6 to 8, and then we will answer them.
So let me show you with a mirror. What do you think?
Wow, you did a good job. The color looks totally natural. And yeah, it feels very comfortable. Next time, I'll give you free rein to choose a new hairstyle.
Excellent. Well, in the meantime, can I recommend this shampoo? It's made of all natural ingredients, and it'll help you keep the color for a couple of months. Use it about once a week instead of your regular shampoo.
Oh, thanks. That looks good. But I think I'll stick with my regular shampoo.
Okay, it's here if you want it. There you go, we're all done. I'll meet you at the front desk in a few minutes, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, so you heard that. So now the work is done. You understand that. And what did the man say to the woman?
He is recommended some shampoo.
Okay, any qualities were discussed about the shampoo? Any
Natural.
Ingredients.
Natural ingredients. What other things he said to the woman? Did you capture those?
Next time you can change the hairstyle.
Once in a week.
Yeah.
Use it once in a week. Next time you can change. Okay. And how many okay, and how many months it will help her to protect the hair?
Couple of months like that.
Yeah, right. Okay. So what did the lady say in reference to that?
She refused the shampoo, whatever he recommended.
Yes.
To use
so
it.
Here also, did you took notes in short form? Did you took that? Recommend shampoo. You can say RECOMM shampoo. You can write any form which you can understand. The way the words that you can make it out to write it. Okay. You can talk about like what are the features she talked about the shampoo, natural, couple of months, all these things, so that you can easily able to relate if question comes from those matter. Okay, so you don't have to scratch your head to think, okay, what I heard, can I recollect, can I remember things. Okay, although it is simple, but having that in an exam conditions would be quite advisable. Okay, having notes will be quite advisable. Okay, So now let's answer the questions.
Question 6.
How does the woman feel about the final result?
These are your options.
Grateful.
I think
Impressed.
overjoyed.
Overjoyed. Okay. Okay, some people are saying C.
Impressed.
Okay. Why do you think impressed? Why
Because
not
she
grateful?
mentioned wow.
Wow, you did a
and
good job. Okay. Overjoy means you're like over the moon. Okay. You are jumping, thrilled. You are very excited. That kind of voice we didn't hear. Okay, Sandeep. So this is
Okay.
not like you are really, excitement like you are very happy. You show your happiness. You're overwhelmed and you are jumping and that way screaming kind of it. That is called overjoy. So that was not the intonations we heard in her voice. Okay. Grateful. Again, she's not very obliged and saying, okay, thank you for doing me and I'm really happy. Like that also we didn't hear. Of course, she's not disappointment with what the work Tim has done. So thus the only thing that comes out clear is impressed. That she's happy with the job that Tim did. Wow, you've done a good job. Yeah, so she is impressed. That's the right understanding. Okay, next one.
Question 7.
What advice does the man give the woman?
Did you all hear the question?
Yeah.
yes.
Choose the options.
I think B. Protect the color with a special product.
Yeah, B.
Yes, B.
All of you go with B.
Yes.
Yeah.
No other options. A, B, A, C, D. No. Come back for touch up in the month. In a month. No. Okay. So my question was, what did the man suggested?
Question 7.
What advice
Advice.
does the man give the woman?
Advice. So come back. He never said that. Protect the color with a special product. Yes, because he talked about that shampoo which has all the natural ingredients. Okay, so she's suggesting about that, recommending that shampoo which will protect her hair. Regular shampoo will damage. She never said, he wasn't critical about the regular shampoo. Okay, he just said that you can use this. This will help you to keep the color for a couple of months. So thus protect the color is more appropriate. Tim never said anything bad about the regular shampoo. Try to use all natural products was not what Tim suggested or advised. So B is the correct answer. Protect the color with the natural, the special product. Last one.
Question 8.
Why will the woman give the stylist more control next time?
A.
Yeah, option A, I think. She now has more confidence.
Yes, option A.
He will need to do a full haircut next time. That's why she will give him more control next time. He will need to do a full haircut. No. She now is more comfortable with his personality. Nothing about Tim's personality was heard, whether he's a jovial, helpful, kind, we don't know. Okay, nothing about personality was heard. He will have gained experience by then. This lady was really impressed with Tim's work and is happy. So she is not expecting that he will gain more experience. Okay, but since the lady is impressed, she now has more confidence in his abilities. Maybe next time he will tell him to do any change in her hairstyle. Yeah, so A is the correct answer. That's right. Right understanding. She now has more confidence on his ability. So read the options carefully. Try to see how you can eliminate the other. Sometimes when you can't come up with the real answers, eliminating the others will also help you to reach towards the right one. Okay, any doubts from this part one? Anything you didn't understand? Did you understand how the tape flow, how was the questions being asked, and then the options are displayed? You will now see the options, generally the question and the options are given in the same page. Okay, so you can listen to the question, you can evaluate your options and make the choice. But listen to the question carefully. You don't get a second chance to listen to it. So please listen what is being asked, what is the question is. If that is not clear, you won't be able to make the choices also in the rightful manner. Evaluate what you've understood from the section audio. Take down the simple short notes. That plays a long way in answering all the questions correctly without making any mistakes. Okay, is the class understandable to all of you?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Nagasai, you want to talk
Yes.
in person or you want to?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, so tomorrow we will start with another practice paper of part one. Thereafter, we'll go to part two in tomorrow's sessions. We'll do one more paper of part one in tomorrow's class. Okay.
Ma'am, I just want to ask you one question. Like in IELTS, we have listening, reading, writing, and each course we get an average. How we calculate in CELPIP? Like in case if we get like 12 reading, 12 writing, 11, and speaking 9. I'm just giving an example. So do we average out on all four and give a band like a C2, B2 or something like that, or it's individual scores only in CELPIP?
See, that's a target score for your immigration would be requiring all bands not less than 9. So like for your IELTS exam, for your PR, you generally look for 8,777. Okay, 8 in one module and 7s in other modules. So here you have to require all of 9s in all the modules. Okay, minimum is the 9 requirement. If you get higher, it's better. Okay, that's why you will get the better scoring. The numbers and the points increases if you go above 10 or 11 in that sense. And that will add up to your other scores that other scores that you have in terms of experience and other things that are taken care of. You're getting me?
Yeah. So it's mandated to get 9. No
Minimum
matter,
9, yes.
No
Yes,
matter
you
what
have
you
to
score
get.
in other
No matter
modules.
what, if one module you fail to get 9, it won't help you. Okay, you'll have to rewrite the paper to get the band of 9 minimum. Like in IELTS, completely 8,777s that you require for immigration for PR. Here also band 9 for each and every module is recommended. Not recommended, it is the target score, I would say.
Okay.
So not less than. If you get higher, better for you, but less won't help you. Again, have to rewrite that entire exam again, because not single paper will be rewriting again as such.
Okay. Okay. Got that.
Yeah. So listening should be manageable. We will do more tasks. I'll do one more paper with you tomorrow when you join the sessions at 7 o'clock. And thereafter, we will go towards part 2. We'll discuss part 2. And if time permits, we can do 2 papers in part 2 in tomorrow's class for practice. Okay, so that will give you a better way of understanding part 2 also. And since part 1, I think everyone is clear about the session. Are you able to follow the language, the way we're discussing in the class? Anybody has any suggestions, anything to be said? Since many of you are new today, so just asking, anybody has any suggestion?
And I just want to ask you, like, how do we practice? Like, do you have any automated system where we can practice at home, or it's only that we practice at classes?
No, you'll given papers, test papers to practice. There will be folders for listening, readings, writing, and speaking separately. But in listening, you get all the audios for different parts. There'll be 14 test papers given to you. In each of the 14 plus papers, there'll be different audios for each of the segments, for part 1, part 2, part 3 to part 6. And you will practice there. Apart from that, there'll be some mock papers will be given to you. There'll be 25 mock papers given, which comprises like the real papers, real exam patterns. So listening, reading, writing, speaking, all happens together. So to sit for the 3-hour long, give that mock session. Writing and speaking, you have to send your work to us for evaluation. Listening and reading, there'll be keys to answer. Keys will be given to you where you can check your work. Okay, but for writing and speaking, you have to email your work to us for evaluation.
Okay.
Did I make myself clear? So there'll be 14 plus 25 papers given apart from the classroom handouts. So with the classroom handouts, and there'll be separate practice papers and mock papers provided to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, any questions from anybody else? Okay, so
One question. So
yes, ma'am.
here, is there any clues we can think about it? So like first question, directly from the paragraph we can answer. The answers maybe we can pick it up fourth question like that. Anything like that kind of
Didn't get
sort.
you actually. Can you repeat your question clearly? I don't
No,
understand.
first
Mhm.
question, there were some parameters where
Hmm.
we can think that 1, 3, 4 directly we can answer from the paragraph.
From the passage that you heard.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And some other questions might be informal way. Maybe it's not directly from the paragraph. Maybe it is from the whatever.
Overall,
Maybe like
yeah.
you mentioned, it's a trap. Yeah. So that kind of sort we
Yes,
can think
direct
about it
matching.
here.
Okay, if I think what you
Yeah,
understand
yeah.
is, yeah, direct matching of what just said in the tape, which you find in your answer, read them carefully. I'm not saying ignore it completely, read them carefully. And you will understand they somewhere differ from what you heard in the tape. And that's why you should eliminate that options. But mindfully, mindfully eliminate. Don't just mindlessly say, okay, this is the direct matching, I should eliminate. Read it. Sometimes it might have the option given a different way. So they might use the direct words, they might say the sentence in a different way. Understand it before you can make your choice. Okay, mindfully eliminate. Don't just eliminate because a word is being heard in the tape. Okay, direct matching can always be traps. It's always being a trap, but read the option carefully. Like here to get a wash and blow dry. Okay, this was not the reason for her to come. Wash and blow dry is direct matching. Read it. Did she come for that purpose? No, she wanted to change the color, not change the color actually. She wanted to cover the grays. That's what indirect matching, and that's what the reason comes up very clearly. So options must be 30 seconds you get for each question. So evaluate your options, check it up well, because even if you save time in one, it won't add up to the next question. You will get again 30 seconds for next question only. Okay, so judge your work well so that you know mistakes you can make.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, fair enough. So we will meet up tomorrow. We'll do one more practice paper for your part 1, and then we'll discuss about part 2. Okay, please join by 7 so that we can start as early, and it will be good practice for all of you. Yeah.
One more question.
Yeah,
so
sure.
you mentioned the practice papers and the mock test, right? So these will be taken care after the each part of the session, like 1 week, after 1 week completion, we will get that related mock test.
Once you enroll, you will get the Google Drive access, which is given across to you on a mail. You will download that, and you can practice as on when you want. Like when the classroom activity is going on, alongside also you can practice with the listening part 1, part 1, then part 2 as well. It's up to you. You want to practice it later, you can do it. Anytime you're finding difficulty, you're not clear about any particular question, why the answer is this, you have a doubt, you can also come for a doubt clearance session separately. That will be arranged separately on a one-on-one basis. Okay, that won't be a part of the classroom. When you're doing the practice or mock papers, you have a doubt, those can be sorted out later on a doubt clearance session as such.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, Nagasai, you had some question. Nagasai? Hello? Nagasai, can you hear me? Okay. Okay, so we'll meet up then tomorrow, and we will do another practice paper of part 1. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you everyone. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.